Hello, everyone. My name is Mary, and I'd like to bring you an angel-inspired message for the new moon on November 23rd, 2022. Now, I already connected with the angels earlier, and one of the messages I got by connecting with Archangel Daniel was that this new moon has a lot to do with connection. So the word I got was connection, connecting not only with each other, but with the entire global human collective, with all the beings on Earth, with Earth itself. Not only that, but with all the parts of ourself, just really being connected to the grid of life. Because the ascension that is happening, this evolution that is happening to all of us together. It is a synchronized thing. It is a symphony. And so we need to be connected to one another to really bring about the fast and quick changes that I think are meant for us right now. So let's see if the tarot card reading has that message in the cards. But I already shuffled the cards, and we're going to do a tarot reading for the new moon. Let me bring my cards onto the screen. There we go. So they've been charging up. The angels are ready to deliver a message. So let's go. Oh, yes. So this has a lot to do with heart energy. This is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is all about bringing in your highest dreams. Oh, there is a glare. I'm sorry about that. It is all about bringing in, really reaching with your heart. And now this has a lot to do with another message that I keep on getting, and that is to reach with your heart. Just imagine that your heart has these antenna on it, or arms, or something that can reach out, reach not outward, but inward, deeper into that higher vibrational God's place where the Holy Spirit resides. Reach into that high vibrational place and get what your heart's been asking for. Reach not to the lower vibrational things that that you want just to feel good about yourself. Don't reach to those egoic things that that soothe you on a very low level. Reach to the highest of the high and know that you can have whatever you want if it is in line with God, if you have faith in it. It is, Jesus has said, ask and you shall receive. He said, if you had just a little seed of faith, you could say to this tree, be uprooted and thrown into the sea, and it would do it. And so our faith and our connectedness to everything else is what brings this about. Our faith and our dwelling in God. Just as Jesus said, I'm the vine and you are the branches. We get our life and our abilities from the divine. And this is telling me that we're in a place for this new moon of reaching out with our hearts for something bigger and greater that is not yet manifested. So see the world in this new moon. Take the opportunity to see this world in a new way. Reach out with your heart and see something that is possible, but not yet in the world. Like, what could we bring in together as a human collective? What could we make possible? What could we manifest? What could we ask God for together that we could make happen? That's an entirely surprising message, this idea of like manifesting and bringing things in, but it's through the power of the heart here. This is a heart card. This is a cup card. So this is all about heart energy, reaching out with your heart, knowing that God is providing you with infinite potential. And together, if we just believe and use our hearts to guide us, great things are possible. So the challenge is to bring about a new sense of self. How we've been manifesting and how we've been doing things and how we've been thinking about ourselves as humans is ready for an upgrade. Not just an upgrade, It's like it's like when you take your car in, you know, and you trade it in for a brand new car. You know, it's like our sense of self. We're trading it in for a brand new sense of self. The Ace of Swords. The Swords is all about the mental plane and our sense of self and how where we stand and what we are looking at and how we're viewing our world as, you know, what's possible for us. What do we want to do? What do we want to make happen? How can we move through the world? Our sense of self. We can no longer sustain the same sense of self that we had in the past. We have to up level, upgrade, trade in that old sense of self for a new sense of self as a united human collective, as a collective of beings made in the divine image, made in the image and likeness of the eternal light. That is who we are. That's who we all are. We've got to trade in our old small sense of self and really expand outwards to this new sense of self. Because if you reach out with your heart, which is, I think, easy to do when you're connected to that heart energy, when you reach out with your heart and see what is possible for you and let those new ideas tickle you, tickle your heart and bring you joy, that's one thing. But if you don't actually believe, like that Bible verse says, you know, like the great teacher Jesus said, you know, if you had just a kernel of faith, the seed of faith. I'm sorry, I don't know these Bible verses by heart. You would be able to tell the tree to uproot itself and be thrown into the sea, and it would do it. He also said, believe, you know, ask anything of the Father in my name, and if you believe in it, it will happen. So this is all about that belief, that belief. And I think it comes from heart energy, to allow your mind to be changed through this inspiration, through the divine inspiration of this heart energy. Allow the heart and mind to work together, allow the heart to instigate something new, and allow the mind to just accept, break open, you know, expand to new places and become that which you seek. This is a unified place. I'm seeing that manifesting and creating and, you know, making something new happen in the world is what's on the precipice for us all as a human collective. This is what's, you know, on the verge, you know, of happening. It's like the roller coaster that has been climbing and climbing and climbing, and then it reaches that top, you know, that peak where it's almost ready to fall down. And, you know, there's a roller coaster in my hometown like that, where there's a big hill in the front, and there's always some worker sitting there at the top of that first hill. And so in the roller coaster comes almost to a complete stop, right poised right there, ready to zoom down. And I always remember, like, whenever I ride that roller coaster, I look over to that worker, and I almost want to wave or something or have a moment because this is it. This is the moment where the roller coaster is about to go plummeting down and take you on a ride. I think that's where we are. And I think if we just align our belief and our heart with God and with all the rest of us together, then we're going to bring about some massive, massive changes, massive changes. So let's see what else is in the cards for us. Ooh, so we've got the 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords, that's a scary looking card. That's not a pleasant looking card. The sky is dark. This guy has got 10 swords sticking up out of his back. And one of my favorite things about this card is that it's the 10. So it's the culmination. It's the culmination of something. It's sort of just like that roller coaster thing where maybe the ace through 9 are all this like, climbing phase. And the 10 is like, okay, we're not climbing anymore. Now is the time where the roller coaster changes direction, where everything shifts, where you're on a new path, where something different, completely different is about to happen. And so it's all about mental energy. So I think what's happening beneath the surface is that God and this and the world, the soul of creation is telling us, from a deep dark place inside our soul, the soul of the world is telling us, listen, everything that you've experienced up till now, that was great, but it's over now. We need to embrace something new. It's so perfect that this new moon reading has the 10 and the Ace of Swords in it. So beneath the surface, we are letting go of this 10. We are letting go of everything that has brought us to this point. It's like, thank you, training wheels, for bringing me to this point of my skill. We're going to release the training wheels and we're just going to go now. We're ready to go. We have the skill, we have the ability, we're there. We're ready to start something new. It's like when you study something, everything that when you study to learn a new skill or something, you're learning every level that you're at is like a foundation for the next level, and you can't be going back down and working on the foundation later, or it's not going to work. You really have to build a firm foundation. And then once that's done, you move on to the next level and you expand and you practice and you bring it into culmination. And so this is all about, the foundation has been laid. Now it's time to move on. That was great. You did good work, but that work is done. Now a new job is, you've got a new job. You've got a new task. And it's all about the mind and letting go of these ideas of separation and these ideas that have brought us to this point in our lives, that have brought us to this point where we're ready to, as a collective, point fingers at one another and hurt one another and be blind to all the things that are happening. I mean, there's probably some sort of something in the world right now that you're not really looking at, or you're not ready to see, or you're not ready to experience, or you're just like, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to see that. It's time to reevaluate ourselves and become more connected. The only way to do that is if we allow our old sensibility, our old sense of self to just die away and just fall away, and we move on and up level to this greater, more expanded sense of self. The Ace of Swords is challenging us, and it's working together with this 10. How many times in the past year or 3 years have we tried to make old systems work and they just don't work anymore? Your old life, your old systems, your old things that you used to do. How many times has that come up where you're like, this just isn't working anymore? How many times have you said that to yourself? I know I've said it to myself a lot of times. Well, this is what's happening. And this new moon is a time to completely up level, to let go and move on to, and just let the winds of God lift you up to that next level, to brush away, to blow away like a dead leaf, all the old things that have been cluttering your mind and bringing you down and making it very confusing for you to move forward. Allow God to just blow all that stuff away like a strong wind and just be somewhere new. Allow yourself to believe in a new possibility. Allow yourself to believe in the heart, in the new possibilities that your heart is already reaching out to. Oh my gosh, more swords. This is so important. The mind, it's all about the mind and where we are in our heads. Oh, we've been in a mental place, cognitive dissonance, pain. The past 3 years has been just weird. And a lot of us have been waiting for some change. And the only way to bring that about is to get in this Ace of Swords place where you're just like, okay, I'm shifting my brain, shifting my mind, and what I believe is possible and how it's going to be possible. And if we do that together with one another, that's where things are going to happen. So what I'm seeing for this is that we have come out of a nightmare, basically. This is the nightmare card right here. Need I say more? Really? Need I say more? This is the nightmare card. Has the past 3 years brought some kind of nightmare to you? My guess is the answer is yes. In some way, shape, or form, and probably in multiple ways, the past 3 years somehow, either politically, it's brought you a nightmare, or socially, it's brought you a nightmare, maybe by being disconnected to people or feeling like your friends aren't your friends anymore, or you can't hang out with people, or people are afraid to hang out with you. Economically, certainly the past 3 years has to have brought some sort of nightmare to you in some way, losing your job or seeing your friend lose their job, having to buckle down, deal with financial difficulties. Spiritually, maybe it's brought you some sort of nightmare where you're just like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with pain. I have to deal with issues. I have to deal with, friends getting sick. I have to deal with myself getting sick. And what does that mean for my spiritual evolution? How can I believe in a divine and loving God when all of this craziness is happening? We've been in that place. We've been in that place. But the good news is God is nothing but pure love, pure abundance, pure generosity, just a bigger ball of love than we could possibly understand in our human minds. That is God. And God is calling us to that place. And we can't go there in this old sense of self. With these old ideas, we can't get there. These old ideas won't get us there. It's like if you have to take a huge road trip and you got a lemon of a car, it's time to trade that car in for a new car. The old car is just not going to get you there. You're in for trouble if you take your old car on that really heavy duty, long cross country road trip or whatever you're doing. So this is just really bringing this about. This is just really it's really concrete. It's just cementing this idea in place that this new moon is all about up-leveling. It's all about taking yourself to the next level, believing in a new world and new possibilities. And everything that's happening here is really supporting that. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, the King of Wands. So, oh my gosh, that beautiful King of Wands. He's so creative. He's so powerful. He's fired up and ready to go. He wants to change the world. He's ready to change the world. He knows he can change the world. So this is a very dynamic and yet perfectly loving, expanded energy that is just boundless. It's creative. It's spiritual. It's got the ability to make changes. So what we have here is that we are being guided consciously by this energy, by the energy of the King of Wands that's telling us, listen, it's possible. We know it's possible. We want it to be possible. This place where we're at with this new heart energy, reaching out to the new possibilities for the new earth. That heart energy that's up leveling us, that's just giving us, bliss and love, and it's filling us with this hope. And then we have this mental energy, this new, that's sort of guiding us to really, really let go of the past, not to close our eyes to it. No, that's not what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to close our eyes to it. That's what we were doing here, is we were trying not to see it and feel it and experience it. But here, what we're being asked to do is to see where we were and move consciously in an expanded way to a new mental place, to really consciously say, That's not what I want anymore. I see where I was. I see where we were as a collective. That's not what we want anymore. We are going to move somewhere else. We are going to believe in each other in a new way. All of this that's happening is being motivated by this powerful, fiery King of Wands energy. We have a powerful motivation moving us forward, a very powerful motivation. And I feel like for this new moon, whatever intention you set, make sure that it has something to do with the collective, and pray that the collective receives their Ace of Swords, receives their mental upgrade, that they can see and believe and become something brand new. And that new mental space, that new sense of self is going to give birth to all of this wonderful heart energy. It's going to make possible for the King of Wands to really inspire you and fire you up in a new way, to fire us all up. I think collectively, I feel like this is a very personal reading for each person, but also important that we're all experiencing this together. It's a collective thing as well. 7. Didn't we have a 7 here already? Yes, we did. So another 7. This is 7 of Pentacles. This card usually brings up this idea, this concept usually brings up mixed emotions, because it's sort of like, yeah, the harvest is coming. The harvest is coming. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is super powerful. But let me finish my thought. The harvest is coming, but you gotta wait for it. You can't have it yet. It's like the grapes on a grapevine, to make wine with. They might have been ripening very nicely, and you're just ready to harvest. You're like, I'm done. I just want to get those grapes in the winery. We want to start the work, but they're not ripe yet. They're not quite ripe yet. It's very frustrating. You got to wait. You got to just wait until those grapes are ready to go. You can't take them off the vine until they're ready. So, there's so much symbolism with this one. The whole idea of the vine and the branches, the whole idea of that. But the main message I'm getting here is that I feel like creation, the soul of the universe, God, I feel like God is sweeping through the world and changing us and challenging us and giving us something new. Truly giving us something new. But the huge thing that we have to accept is that it may not happen at the time that we want it to happen. It's going to happen exactly at the right time. But our work is to do this right now, is to bring the mind and the heart into a coherent state where they're both working together from an up-leveled, expanded, divinely guided point of view. And only then will things move into the place where we want them to be. Only then will the harvest is coming, is the message here. The harvest is coming. Let's take another look at this guy. Because God is doing work right here through all of us. We're never disconnected from God. You may feel it, but it's not ever, you can't be disconnected from God. God is the source and substance of all things. So the harvest is coming. The harvest is coming. How does that guy feel about what he's waiting for? Is he pleased? Is he frustrated? Is he thinking about something else? So imagine that you're this guy waiting for the harvest. What do you want to be thinking about? Where do you want your mind to be? Do you want to be like knowing the harvest is coming? It's coming. I am here for it. I am present with the world as it's shifting, as it's ripening. But the harvest is coming. And we are all a part of that. We are all connected with it. God is doing God's divine work through us, and we're all a part of it. And to the extent of where your consciousness is, where your belief is to the extent where you can see and participate in it. So if you're really not aware, you're going to see yourself as very separate. But if you connect consciously with God, with the angels, and the angels, they're their divine purpose is just to be, you know, a pathway to God, is to bring you to God. They're constantly looking at and worshiping God in all God's form, which is all of us, which is everything. And so we're all, the whole point of this spiritual path is to become unified. And I think this has a lot to do with that. The whole idea of the vine and the branches is depicted here. We're all a part of it. We're all a part of God's work. And so that's what's going to happen. That's where we're headed. But the fact of the matter is we have to move past the old ways of thinking. We have to move past this 9 and 10. It's like that roller coaster, you know? It's on the precipice. It's ready to let go. But maybe some of us are like trying not to let it go. Maybe some of us are holding on to the railing, like, we don't want to let go of the past. So we have to see the past as it was. A method of thinking, of separationist thinking that just didn't work for us. Maybe it worked to get us to this point, but it's time to let go. It's time to move on. It's time to embrace something brand new. As scary as that is, you know, there's no proof. The Ace of Swords has no proof. It just has this new idea that hasn't been tested yet. You haven't ran with it. You haven't learned from it. You haven't, you know, really processed it. It's brand new, but we got to go with it. We got to believe in this connected state, in this new earth. So I feel like this is pretty exciting, this reading. All right, so the next card we have is the Six of Swords. We're silly with swords here. The Six of Swords is moving on. Yes, the angels are telling me you are moving on. You know, you are moving on. This is a time for you to just see it. It's a time for you to just see it, to be it, to understand that, yes, we are moving on. We are moving our boat of our consciousness from one place to another place. That is where that's what we're doing. And we are guided and we are helped. And if you just close your eyes and breathe, you will connect yourself to your higher self. If you close your eyes and call upon God or consciousness or angels or your higher self or whatever it is that you want to call upon, that is your light, call upon that. Know that there is a higher plan happening here, and there's help available. There's help, and you are being guided in every little thing that just came into my head. Like every little thing, every little choice that you make, every tiny little thing, like where you go to get your coffee in the morning, or you know, how you feel about getting your coffee, how you're going to look at the barista, and you know, what you're going to say, and you know, the little things. All of this builds. We can build each other up, or we can just sort of hold steady to this old place. But constantly the angels are guiding us. Constantly they're guiding us to something new. So in this new moon, allow yourself to be guided. You are being guided. You are being moved and shifted. Your mind is being moved and shifted. And you may wonder, as I am now, what do we do with all these old thoughts that we've been keeping around in our head? You know, the old ways of doing things, these old systems. What do we do with all those old thoughts? Well, you let them go. You let yourself be guided away from them. They're not going to incinerate. You just have to move your consciousness to something higher. And start playing in the beliefs and the sense of self that is an elevated, more divine, more enlightened sense of self. You don't have to worry about it. Let yourself be guided. Let yourself be moved. Oh, perfect. This is huge. I feel like we're getting a great, very enlightening reading. So this is the card that we need to focus on. As far as what we need to bring in more of. So for my readings, this card always represents the part of ourselves that we need to, is sort of like the blind spot. It's what's coming in that we really have to make room for, make space for. This is something that's happening from from the inside of us. It's something we already embody. We already embody this space of being guided to something new. What we need to be aware and sensitive to is this, another 10, the 10 of Cups. So the first cup we had here was our 7 of Cups. Now we have the 10 of Cups. This is the happiest card. So I think what the angels are trying to say here is that this thing that you are focusing on, that your heart is reaching out to, this card right here, this 7 of Cups, where the heart was reaching up to something new, reaching to a divine potential that has not yet been brought to earth, has not yet been manifested. That part of you that's doing that, reach to the highest, the best, the happiest. Hold that. Keep that on your dashboard of your metaphysical dashboard. Keep that picture right there of the highest and best for yourself and everyone else. Keep the picture of what is possible. What would it be like if the entire world had, a heart overflowing with love? What would that be like? Really? Oh my gosh, can you imagine it? So what we're being asked is to hold on to the highest and best that our hearts can hold on to. And that's sort of going to grease the wheels of this whole shift into Ace of Swords energy, this new mental place. And I feel like God is saying, trust me, trust me. Just, and Jesus said it best, where he's like, give me your burdens. My yoke is light, my burden easy. So to trust and to use the power of God and Christ consciousness to really enter into a higher divine and holy state isn't a narrowing. It's an explosion of light and love and possibilities and wonderful things. That's what this is. And that's what we need to hold on to. Just have some portion of your heart always like a little program that's running all the time. Have it always running with, yes, the best and highest is possible. And I'm going to hold on to that. And I'm going to believe it. And I'm going to know that it's possible, that God is bringing this to all of us. And the harvest will come and it's going to look like this. So I think this message of hope and connectedness, it could not be more clear for this new moon. It really could not. I always take this card, this position in the Celtic Cross spread. I always take it to be a angel message. So this is another 7. So we have 3 sevens so far in this reading. So what are the angels? Has this card come up for us before? I feel like it has. 7. Oh, I'm just getting such warm energy from it. So what I'm getting is that the angels are saying, blessed children of God, you've got this. You've got this. This is a game. It's a divine game. It's a divine practice, what we're doing here. And God's in charge of the whole thing. It's like playing like a computer game where you're against the computer, you're playing against basically, a software program. It almost doesn't even matter if you win or lose. The software program is designed, the game is designed to help you get better, to move yourself up in levels. And so the angels are like, don't worry. This game is for you. This practice is for you. This up-leveling is for you to realize how special you are and how wonderful you are and where you stand in the kingdom of God. This is all designed for that. Don't worry. Just jump into the game. Play the game. Just Have perfect faith in yourself. Know that you are standing on the higher ground, that you have God at your back, and that everything's going to be okay. It's like I'm picturing like little kids on the playground in the snow, like early winter when it's one of the first snowfalls, and the kids are ready to play. They want to have a snowball war, and so the moms and the dads are like bundling them up and wrapping their faces in a scarf and putting the hat on, and the kids are just ready. They're fired up. They want to get out there and start playing with one another. They want to play the game. They want to just get in there and start making snowballs and have fun. This is what I'm feeling from this energy, which is normally like a conflict energy. It's like an energy of I'm coming up against obstacles, but I'm confident that I will overcome, that I've got the higher ground, and it all will be well. That is what the energy of this card really means, generally means. But what I'm getting from the angels is I'm feeling this delight. Like this person doesn't have to be upset or afraid fighting this fight. This person can be filled with that joyful, childlike, like I can do it sort of energy, playing the game and having fun and running the race. Do you ever see kids run a race? How they just give their all to it. It's just so much fun to see, the joy coming out of their hearts. It's like, jump in, give it all, you can do this. The angels are like, this is for you. Jump in with both feet. Don't be afraid. Take on the challenges that you were afraid to take on before, because you can do it. Because you have the energy, you have the power, you have God, you have the angels, you have everything. And if you are in this place, which we are in, of up-leveling our mind and heart to a new level of what is possible, then certainly you can overcome. I think what I'm getting is very powerfully a reminder of this card, that we are guided, that we are definitely guided. The only way we can be guided successfully, though, is if you are holding on to this high, this 10 of Cups energy, this rainbow of possibilities, this blissful, happy ending thing, that no matter what the world presents to you, no matter how much pain and like frustration and all the things you think you see in the world that are separating us, the secrets that are holding us down, the everything, all of this stuff that's happening, if we hold on to this and allow ourselves to be guided and jump in with both feet, it's gonna be okay. It can't help but be okay. It just can't help it. We are creating this with God. We are creating this world with God. God is the source and the substance and the spirit that moves all things. So how can you lose? You can't lose. And we're in a place where we can understand that synchronicity, that harmony of flow in a higher and better way. So exciting what's happening right now. I'm really getting like this new moon is going to be huge for us internally, and it's going to spark something that will change the world. Final card, strength. So this reminds me of a little message I got, I think, from Jophiel, Archangel Jophiel, regarding, I was contemplating Jophiel, and I was guided to think about love and the connection of love and strength. So how love is like the glue of God, and how love is that perfect vibration of divine energy, and how it transforms the idea and concept of strength. Strength is not put up your dukes, I can clobber you. Strength is like, I don't need to clobber you because I have the love to overcome this. My strength comes from a courage, which comes from the heart, which comes from God. And so the situation doesn't need me to fight it. You don't have to fight. You don't have to fight the things that come up against you. You can use love to overcome. You can use love to transform. And so the true strength, our true strength, comes from that, comes from confidence in God, confidence in ourselves, in who we were made to be. And I think if you look at the infinity loop above her head, you'll be reminded that her strength is infinite. Her strength, she won't run out. This is not a card of like limited strength. You only have so much. I'm sorry, I keep moving that. You only have so much strength. No, she has infinite strength. She has infinite strength. And I think the scene sort of lends itself to this expansive scene behind her, the fields and the mountains and all of it, how she's just sort of in this wide open accepting place and able to channel the love of God, which informs her heart, which gives her courage to overcome everything. Another great message of Jesus, and I hope everybody here who's listening doesn't think, I hope you don't think that I'm trying to convert you to any form of Christianity. Christ is a great teacher, and it's just the one that I'm personally most connected with. And if you have teachings from other gurus or teachers, divine masters that are in line with this, leave them in the comments. I'd like to hear it. But the message, the Bible verse that's coming to mind is, in the world you will have much trouble, but take courage, take heart. I have overcome the world. And it's like, what does that do to your heart? I know for me, it just fills me with this, like, Jesus has overcome the world. Christ consciousness has overcome all this trouble that we think we have. And it fills me with such love and gratitude and relief. And when we live in this place of separation, we live in this fear of this, like, sort of, I gotta tough it out sort of place. But when you shift into this heart energy, to this divine heart energy, you are shifted into this wonderful place of strength, of true strength that comes from love, that comes from absolute confidence in the divine power of God flowing through you and all people. And so I think the overall message for this reading is to line up your heart with God and with the highest possible things that could happen that you can possibly imagine. Line up your heart with the most powerful, the most blissful, the most joyful things. Line up your heart with these things. Reach out with your heart. Reach out with your heart to this beautiful place of love. Reach out to that blissful place. And then once you have that, hold on to it. Keep touching it. Keep feeling this blissful, expansive, hopeful future. And then let go of any thoughts that are telling you that it's not possible. Let go of the nightmare that you've been living the past however many years, that we've all been living for thousands of years. Let go of the nightmare and allow your mind to line up with that possibility. So this new possibility here that your heart is holding on to, that's going to inform your mind. And the two of them are going to work in harmony together. That is the message. Oh, this all looks very messy now. That is the message. And so my prayer for you and for all of us is that my prayer is that God or the angels help you to up-level your heart and to reach out to a more blissful future than you have ever imagined before. And may you have the faith and the belief that that can happen for yourself. And may this be true for all of us. So that is my prayer for you. I hope you enjoy this. Hope you enjoyed this reading, and happy new moon to you, and God bless you. Bye.